I would never want to be inappropriate or disrespectful in any way to anyone in putting together a video on this topic, something I have several different ways of having had to deal with. Some of the losses I have had I would have been quite young still, so they will not have affected me in the same way as others have as I got older. As the title of this video makes clear, this is kind of a militaristic book on video form on how to survive different types of loss. Not all grief happens as a result of someone having come to the end of their life, be it that was their time or that it happened unexpectedly. Part 1. The known loss. Unfortunately, there are two things that are known to be inevitable in life. One of those is taxes, the other one, the much sadder one, is death. When someone has been battling some kind of illness or they have just not naturally come to the end of their own time in the world, it can be hard for those who are left behind. I hope, despite how sad it is, we are still able to remember all the good things about the person that is unfortunately no longer here. Grieving doesn't have any kind of statute of limitations on how long it goes on for. It could be as little as a few months or as long as a few years. It can still be hurting every bit as much on the inside. We just put a brave face on and say things that may be more to come for others than ourselves, maybe. I would not want anyone to continue to live in pain, so to me, that they are no longer themselves going through that is a positive, and we can find consolation with each other in that. I know that no matter how I felt about a person, that person may have meant a lot to others, so being kind is important. Listening without having to say anything at all can be the best way to be a friend. Part 2. The ambiguous loss. Sometimes someone is gone and it's not because they have passed away. You know that they are still around, but you are not, for a myriad of reasons, able to be there for that loved one. I speak from experience of having been far from the perfect human being. I made and probably continue to make a lot of mistakes in the choices of the past and the present, and I can't say I won't keep making those same mistakes, even with the best of intentions behind them every time. That kind of loss can be so much harder to cope with. When someone passes from an illness or old age, etc., you know for definite where they are, that there is no more suffering for them, no more life issues to deal with. But when someone is still alive, including a child, you cannot hug them and help them in any way with the things that they are going through now or will in the future, it's like being in a straitjacket and being gagged as well. There is nothing you can do, no matter how hard you try and how much you want to, because it's out of your control now. You can sit and scream and cry and even want to break things, but it doesn't change anything. The thing is, it's not that dissimilar when it comes to this kind of grief. Any time you spent with that person, hold on to it, to photos, to any conversations you had, even if they were one-sided because they were too young to do more than babble back or giggle or any of those things. You've shown that you love them unconditionally. You'll have tried your best, and whenever you do feel like giving up because it's all too much, even if those memories seem like sad ones, you can't have those anymore. In both known and ambiguous losses, don't let them be things you mourn, but things you celebrate that can keep you going. Conclusion. There is more I'd wanted to say, so much more. How to support those who are grieving in both cases of the known and ambiguous losses, but there is no rule book for any of us. Even having made this video on what is the right or wrong way to handle it, we're always going to do and say the right thing when it comes to helping people or going through any sort of loss. Of course not, because as I said, that would make us all much more perfect as human beings than we are. We get angry, we blame and criticise and all the rest because that can be how we deal with it, lashing out and taking it all out on people who had little or nothing to do with what happened to the person lost. It's not an easy topic to do any sort of video on, which is why I'm not making this as long as I would have liked to have made it, because I don't want to end up saying anything here that is going to be upsetting to anyone. I wanted it to be some sort of guide to how to survive. I know in reality these things don't come with a manual like we'd hoped. I care about you. I will be thinking about you as you are watching this video, whoever you are and wherever in the world you are. And I hope one day that all of us can be okay. Love, Lou.